Well, January is Firefighter Cancer Awareness Month, emphasizing the risk of occupational cancer faced by our frontline heroes. Joining us to tell us more is a training captain with West Vancouver Fire and Rescue, Athena Calogeros, who battled thyroid cancer from carcinogen exposure on the job. Athena, thanks for being here this morning.
Thanks for having me.
So you have become a key advocate in the fight against occupational cancer among firefighters. Are you surprised that how little the public is aware of the on-the-job risks that firefighters face?
I believe the public is aware of the risk that firefighters face from the duties of the job. I don't believe they're aware so much of the increased cancer risk that we have, which is huge. 94% of line-of-duty deaths for firefighters can be attributed to cancer, which is a shocking number. So Firefighter Cancer Awareness Month is intended to highlight the increased cancer risk that firefighters face and then promote strategies for prevention and early detection and treatment.
Yeah, and Firefighter Cancer Awareness Month, we were saying during the break, is actually a fairly new initiative. And yeah, huge numbers, as you said, 94% of front online duty deaths among firefighters because of those cancers. So it took you a few biopsies to get your diagnosis. What were some of the symptoms that you might have faced and what do you have to say for those who may be choosing not to identify those symptoms, to do something about them?
Right. So for me, I felt something on the inside of my throat, and normally with thyroid cancer, there may not be symptoms until there's something actually visible on the exterior of your neck, but I was feeling something inside, so I went to my doctor, and I had a good relationship with her, and she understood the increased risks of my job. So she sent me for some diagnostics, and that came up inconclusive initially. So it did take 3 biopsies, and it wasn't for another year and a half after first noticing this change that I was diagnosed.
For years, firefighter safety revolved around inhalation. Why is it important to protect the entire body, not just the lungs?
Right. So I think people are well aware of the risk of inhalation because firefighters wear the air pack to protect their breathing. But something that's been overlooked for a really long time has been the absorption risk, which is huge. So it gets in through our skin and causes cancer that way. So there's been improved measures with our personal protective gear and decontamination procedures to help with that. But it's also important to recognize that in this line of work, we can't completely eliminate the exposures. We can only do our best to mitigate those. So by using the equipment and by decontamination, we can limit those exposures, but we'll always have those.
So I understand that you work to get thyroid cancer recognized by the province as an occupational disease. What was the biggest challenge for you when trying to make that happen?
Right. So the province recognizes a number of cancers as occupational disease for firefighters. And at the time of my diagnosis, thyroid cancer wasn't recognized. But I knew that the BC Professional Firefighters Association was lobbying to have it included in the list of cancers. I submitted a claim, which was not accepted initially. And then through the process, there's some various steps to challenge a decision. So during that process, it actually was legislated that thyroid cancer was occupational disease for firefighters, but it wasn't retroactive to my case. So I continued with my appeal, and ultimately it was found that my cancer was caused by the job.
And do you see yourself continuing on in a role of advocacy going forward?
I think so. I think it's important to continue because we need to recognize more cancers for the profession. And also with that comes the access to early screening, which will help prevent catching the cancer early is key.
Early detection is so important.
Right. So if we can have access to that early screening, then we have a better chance for a positive outcome.
Okay, Athena Calogeros joining us this morning. Thanks so much for telling us all about Firefighter Cancer Awareness Month, and thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
Good to see you.